I wanted to come to you this morning because I just posted an article entitled "Black Girls in the U.S. Pushed Out of School Over Racist and Sexist School Dress Codes," report says. And I just wanted to be, I had a aha moment because I have shared several times about how black girls and black boys are adultified much earlier. And as an educator, I just want to be real with you. I want to be so honest when I when I realize that I've caused harm. It was unintentional. As this article says, that particularly I want to find the thing that I highlighted it says, oftentimes it's black administrators carrying out harsh discipline policies because they believe it is necessary to prepare black students for a world that already views them as less innocent and more adult. And I can admit that I've done that. And the more I think about it, I think I know I've caused harm, and I'm not going to try to mitigate that. I know I've caused harm. And yet I had a style, and I didn't even realize it at the time, that was, I can't even say less harmful because harm is harm. So I'm not even going to try to explain it. But what I'm learning from reading How to Be an Anti-Racist, it put it together for me. So I recognize that our education systems are rooted in white supremacy. And it's rooted in a system that forces non-whites to conform to white ideals, white standards. And when they don't, which are these little black girls who come out, because I was one of them. I was a little black girl who, if you think I'm a lot to handle now, think about how I must have been at 4 and 5, because this is who I was. I spoke my truth. I got in trouble a lot for seeing something and being taught that telling the truth in those instances was not the right thing to do, was not the civil thing to do. And so we're being taught to lie. We've been gaslit constantly. And I can say now that and I'm making this because I'm preparing to do episode 3 or chapter 3 of the book. And it's about, I just did, no, let me back up. I just did chapter 2, and it was about the difference between a similarist, a segregationist, and an anti-racist. And so even in the training that I have, I've been trained in a in a philosophy called positive youth development. And I've worked with young people of all ages, and adults as well. And so the process of positive youth development is put these 2 videos together because a robocall came through and I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. That was just, Okay. So, what I'm learning or have been internalizing, let's put it this way, that I was saying positive youth development focuses on assets rather than deficits. So and it totally explains why what we consider the hardest or the kids with the most disciplinary issues, or let's be honest, we called them the worst kids, were gravitated towards me because I saw them as an asset. I didn't treat them as a deficit. Asset-based approach to working with kids sees wherever they come from, if they just came out of the juvenile justice system, if they've just been raped, if they're in the in foster care or whatever, you build on their assets. You don't focus on what we consider deficits. And that's how criminal justice system, that's how most people who come in contact with youth, they focus on deficits. And that clearly is a similarist. So that when it tied to the similarist, it's they're not inherently inferior, but they just need to be trained. So that's how most people work within the education system. I was trained that there's nothing inherently wrong with them. I just need to help them become fully functioning, tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. And I now see that was also a similarist. Nothing about that was anti-racist. Nothing about that says there's absolutely nothing wrong with them, and it's the systems and the policies and processes that are in place that need to change so that these young people can show up as themselves. That was such a fucking aha moment for me. I mean, I guess the saving grace is a lot of the work I did with my young people was about leadership skills. It was about letting them understand that the school system is an artificial environment, and all that patting on the back that they were getting, all of that, whatever was going on was not going to go with them. And so it was my thought was I was preparing them for adulthood, and I guess I was, but within the restraints and the construct of a white supremacist viewpoint. It was lead. You're everything you can be. You're perfect as you are. And no, it wasn't even an, it was a but. I erased all that. I erased all that and said, but you have to live in this white world. So let me prepare you for that. So I really just want to apologize. I'm learning. I know I've done great work. I did great work. I've changed a lot of lives. Some of my old students are still in my life. They still call me Mama Creighton. I just know better now. I know that there is a better way to do it. And if we're not, and as the book says, if we're not being actively anti-racist, we're promoting racist ideas and racist policies. And so I'm going to be really conscious of that moving forward. If I'm not doing anti-racist work within tech, I'm promoting and upholding racist policies and white supremacy. So I just wanted to say that that was a good lesson to learn, but a hard lesson to learn. Because, again, you don't want to be complicit in someone else's harm, but we won't know until we challenge it because, again, we're trying to create a world that was never meant to exist. So have a wonderful day.